Born into Ikoyi privilege, Funmi's childhood unfolded behind tall gates in Ikoyi, where security men knew her name and neighbors waved from tinted windows. Her father was a respected real estate mogul with properties stretching from Victoria Island to Aja. Her mother chaired charity events and belonged to elite women ES clubs, where gossip traveled faster than truth. Inside their mansion, Funmi was treated like royalty. Nannies rushed at her slightest frown. Drivers stood at attention when she entered the car. If she wanted ice cream at midnight, it appeared. If she refused food, another dish replaced it. No one taught Funmi restraint. No one taught her humility. When she pushed another child at a private nursery in Victoria Island, her mother blamed the school for poor supervision. When Funmi broke an expensive vase during one of her tantrums, her father laughed and said, "She knows she's important." In Lagos, where power often silences correction, Funmi grew up believing wealth was the same as worth. Schooling among the elite, Funmi attended one of the most expensive secondary schools in Lekki Phase 1, where children arrived in luxury SUVs and competed over who traveled abroad more often. Funmi stood out, not for brilliance, but for cruelty dressed in confidence. She mocked classmates who wore last year's shoes. She laughed loudly at accents she considered local. Teachers tried to discipline her, but each complaint ended in a meeting with her father and the teacher apologizing. She learned an important lesson early: money could rewrite the rules. Her friends clung to her because of weekend parties at her family's beach house and shopping trips to Palms Mall. Yet behind her back, they whispered about her temper and pride. Even at home, Funmi's behavior worsened. She spoke harshly to domestic staff, calling them by whistles instead of names. If food wasn't perfect, plates flew. Her parents noticed, but chose silence over correction. After all, in Lagos, bad behavior is often excused when success is loud. University life in Lagos widened Funmi's world, but didn't soften her heart. She attended a private university where wealth was common currency and entitlement was normal. Funmi measured people by their usefulness, connections, status, or influence. Men admired her beauty and family name. Many tolerated her arrogance, believing marriage into her family was worth the stress. Funmi saw relationships as transactions. When she met Kunle, a rising businessman based in Lekki, she believed she had found her equal. Kunle was ambitious, well-connected, and polished enough to fit her family's standards. Love was secondary. Reputation was everything. Their wedding was held at a luxurious event center in Victoria Island. Lagos stood still that day. Celebrities attended, politicians smiled for cameras, and blogs praised the perfect match. No one spoke about character. They never do at weddings. After marriage, Funmi moved into a grand home in Lekki Phase 1. From the outside, it was the dream Lagos lifestyle. Clean lawns, security cameras, constant power supply. Inside, chaos lived quietly. Funmi dominated the home with insults, anger, and control. She belittled Kunle during arguments, reminding him of her family's influence. She dismissed his opinions, shouted at staff, and changed house helps every few months. Money covered the cracks publicly, but privately the house was sinking. Kunle tried conversations. He suggested counseling. Funmi laughed. To her, compromise felt like weakness. Respect felt optional. Even when children came, the pattern didn't change. She loved extravagantly but lacked patience. She bought affection instead of nurturing it. Lagos life continued outside, traffic, business, parties, but inside that home, warmth was missing. Years later, Funmi sat alone one evening, watching the lights of Lekki reflect off her window. Kunle was rarely home. Her children preferred their rooms and their screens. Staff avoided eye contact. For the first time in her life, Funmi felt powerless. Her father was aging. Her mother was distant. The influence that once shielded her no longer reached her marriage. In a city where money speaks loudly, Funmi finally heard a truth louder than wealth. Bad character eventually outlives money's protection. She realized too late that respect cannot be bought, love cannot be forced, and humility cannot be outsourced. Lagos had given her everything, except the discipline she never learned. And so Funmi learned the hardest lesson of all. Money can build houses in Ikoyi and Lekki, but only character builds a home.